Why scientists have introduced a living robot? Because this living robot can live inside our body without having food for 15 days. They approximately 15 days. Just go and read that. Invented in 2020, this year. Invented in this year, 2020. This is a living robot which can live inside our body for almost 15 days without any food. What it can do? It can work as a group. කණ්ඩායමක් විදිහට වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන් මෙයාට. It can work as a group. Right, for an example නිකන් අපි හිතමු නිකන් scenario එකක් දැන් කොහේ හරි මේ robots යනවා cholesterol සුද්ධ කරන්න. Xenobot කෙනෙක්ව අපි යවනවා blood system එකට මේක micro level organism එකක් නේ. Small organism. So we are sending this Xenobot inside our body to find out whether we have cholesterol inside our veins. දියා ගිහිල්ලා cholesterol තියෙනවනේ එයාට කණ්ඩායමක් විදිහට වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්. It will communicate the other Xenobots. අර අපේ භාෂාවෙන් කිව්වොත් මේ මචං මේ පැත්තේ මේ cholesterol ටිකක් වැඩිපුර තියෙනවා පොඩ්ඩක් සුද්ධ කරන්න එන්න පුළුවන්ද? So likewise, it will communicate with other Xenobots saying that there's a high cholesterol level, whether you can come and join with me to clean that cholesterol. Likewise. So in future is really different. This is also a robot. But no screen, no input device, no output device like computer, keyboard, like all, but still it's a robot. Still it's a robot. This is future robotics. It will be like bio-inspired computing. We will be learning this in grade 9, 10, 11. So you'll be learning that is bio-inspired computing. So if you want to buy bio-inspired computer, that will be expensive these days, but in future, your computer will have bio-inspired systems. Right? Your computer will have bio-inspired systems. For an example, okay, think about this. So based on your requirement, you have to go and purchase a computer. For an example, they have given different titles. Programmer, they want to develop programs. They want to write program. Network administrator, they want to manage networks and maintain. Different roles. System analyst, they are the people who analyze the system before developing a software. They are the people who analyze the software. Before developing the software, they will analyze the scenario, case, business case. Yeah, the software ka kadanna kalin a business case ka analyze kara. Software engineers develop the software. Not only develop, he engineers the software. Then computer application assistant. So these are different job roles. Web developer develops, maintain web pages. Based on, first of all, so before we buy a computer, we have to identify which level user we are. So you will be categorized, sometimes you will be categorized under programmer because you are doing programming. You will be categorized as a software engineer. You're doing software engineering, you're doing web developing in your machine. So you play many roles. Therefore, you need some average performing computer, not fully equipped computer, but you need average performing computer. So I said in the video, so there's a hobby that vintage computers can be collected. Then මේ වගේ පරණ computer එකක් ඔයාලට වැඩ කරන්න හොයාගන්න නැහැ. P3 even not available. Let's say P4, Pentium 4. Let's go and search. So you have some P4. Yeah, you have some P4 machines. Pentium 4. Now you have some P4 machines. This is only 6,500 rupees. You can see Pentium 4 machine can be purchased for 6,500. Complete machine. So still that machine is enough to you to do these practicals and all. Some people are telling that I don't have computer and all these things. But the thing is, if you have P4 machine, that's enough. If you have P4 machine, that's more than enough to do anything. But nowadays you can't find P4 machines. Let's go for dual core or core to duo. So dual core or core to duo machines. මම specification කියලා දෙන්න dual core කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Likewise, I'll explain this. It's like the even laptop will cost you like 16,000. Dual core to duo laptop will cost you 14,000, 16,000. That's the cost. Don't buy this kind of machine. This MacBook Air 2020 256 gives 212,000. It's very expensive, but you are not going to learn anything. You can use this, but you are not going to learn many things. Right? That's why I said not to buy such machines. Right? Okay. Then, according to the requirement, you have to select the computer. That is the objectives. This lesson is to give you an idea to how to select computers. And these are the different type of computers that we see in the world. Not only that, we have different type of other computers, especially if you are moving like if you are moving from city to city. Think that especially if you are moving from city to city, one city to another city, you should buy one of the most portable machines like tablet computer or notebook. ඔයා හැම වෙලේම move වෙනවා නම් තැනින් තැනට ඔයගොල්ලෝ purchase කරන්න ඕන මොන වගේ එකක්ද? tablet computer එකක්, smartphone එකක්, PDA එකක්, mobile computer එකක්. So when you're selecting mobile computer, දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය mobile computer එකක් select කරද්දි they will look for the screen. මම දැකලා තියෙනවා සමහර tablet computers ගන්නවා move වෙන්න. හැබැයි ගන්නේ 10 inch 12 inch වගේ tablet computers ලොකු screen එකක් තියෙන. Then again it is useless. Why? ටැබ්ලට් කම්පියුටර් එක ලොකු ස්ක්‍රීන් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි මොකක්ද දෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ ස්ක්‍රීන් එක ලොකු වෙන්න බැටරි තියෙන වෙලාව අඩුයි හරි ඉතින් අපිට ස්ක්‍රීන් එක ලොකුවට ඕන අපි නිකන් ඇස් පේන්න නැත්නම් හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් මොනවා හරි ෆිල්ම්ස් බලන්න හරි මොනවා හරි so if you are using the screen for some kind of screening activity then only we need large monitor otherwise a small monitor is enough but if you buy a monitor with if you buy a computer with large monitor or large screen, again that's a problem because it will consume your battery. Okay, assume that you want to do video editing and all video editing, movie editing. You buy a computer with smaller screen. Again, that's a problem. Video editing වලට පොඩි screen එකක් ගත්තොත් ඔයාලට video එක කොහොමද quality එකවත් බලන්න විදියක් නැහැ. ඒ අනුව purpose එක අනුව ඔයාලා computers තෝරගන්න ඕන. And not only that, we will be learning about peripheral devices. So I said many terms, many jargons, hard disk, then flash drive, pen drive, optical discs, likewise peripherals. What are the peripherals? Peripherals means devices connected using wires or wireless mechanism to the main board or the motherboard. Motherboard එකට නැත්නම් ප්‍රධාන main board එකට නැත්නම් ප්‍රධාන මව්පුවරුවට හරි wires නැතුව හෝ wires වලින් connect කරන බාහිරින් connect කරන ඒවට අපි කියනවා peripherals කියලා. Then what are under this category? What are the peripherals basically? Input devices are peripherals because input devices are connected using wires or wireless technology. Then output devices are peripherals. Output devices are also connected using wires or wireless technologies. Then secondary storage like pen drive, hard disk, what else? CD, DVD, memory cards, those are also peripheral devices. So basically remember peripheral devices are input devices, output devices and secondary storage devices. Why those are called peripherals? Because those are connected externally to the motherboard. Even hard disk is internal to this system unit. මේක ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් සමහර තැන්වලදී මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ළමයින්ට එනවා. System unit එක ඇතුලේ peripheral තියෙනවද? System unit එක කියන්නේ මේ casing එක ඇතුලේ peripheral තියනවාද? Yes. Inside system unit you have peripherals. With the hard disk එක connect වෙන්නේ wire එකකින්. Even though hard disk is inside the central inside the casing, this is not CPU actually, this is casing. Hard disk is inside casing, but it is secondary storage as well as it is peripheral. So what about random access memory? Is it peripheral? RAM එක peripheral? Hopefully you are not sleeping. Nah? Is RAM peripheral? Random access memory? Peripheral da නැද්ද? නිදි නෑ නේද? Dunal? Samadhi? Random access memory? Peripheral da නැද්ද? No, it's not peripheral. Why? Because it is connected using a circuit board to the motherboard. It is connected using circuit board. It's not peripheral, right? It's connected using circuit board. Expansion cards, VGA card, sound card, those are not peripherals. Motherboard not peripheral. Power unit not peripheral. Casing, that is not a unit anyway. Anyway, it's not peripheral. So sometimes they might ask questions, what are the peripheral, what are not peripherals? Likewise, they will ask questions. Okay, with that, I'll stop the lesson for today. And as I said, I'll show you one thing. So let's say Pentium 1 machine or Pentium 1 computer in eBay. I said this is a hobby. So some people are connecting this vintage for old computers. If you have one, don't sell me for that price, right? So vintage computers is kind of hobby in some countries, some people. So these people here, you can see this is vintage Pentium 3 machine. They are selling for 120 plus shipping. That means $300 means it's almost like 60,000, right? This is again Pentium 3 vintage one. They are selling this for 40,000. So this is very old computer. This is Pentium 3 old style computer. They are selling this for $400 means closer to 80,000. Right? This is one of the hobbies. One of the hobbies of people. They collect old machine. But our people, they have different kind of hobby. This old motherboard has පරණ motherboard වල තියෙනවා gold component එකක්. Gold mercury වගේ මේ විශේෂයෙන්ම gold වගේම තියෙනවා ටිකක් පොඩි ප්‍රමාණයක්. ඒ හින්දා motherboard උණු කරනවා ලංකාවේ. That is our hobby. So we are not collecting computers for vintage purpose. We are collecting that for mining gold, right? So don't think much about that. So, okay. Anyway, now I think we have learned something. I'll try to give everything something extra which is not related to the lesson every day, right? I'll try to give that, but this is just the start, so we can't discuss much. We have just started. Next day onward, we'll discuss more lessons and we'll give the note related to that. Okay, then good night. See you soon. Maybe see you next week. So we don't have practicals for this week. So see you on the next. Okay, good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night, sir.